everyone, my name is Tala Madi and I'm the founder of a small urban farming company in Accra and also a member of the Ghana Food Movement. And together with the Ghana Food Movement, we built this beautiful farm in the middle of Osu in Accra, Ghana under the initiative of Farm Accra. And today we are here to give you 5 steps on how to be an urban permaculture farmer. Before we get started, I want to give you some brief background about permaculture. So permaculture is a way of living that is 100% sustainable. Every output is an input into something else. There are 3 ethics in permaculture. The first is earth care, which is what it sounds like. It's about taking good care of the earth through our actions. The second is people care, which is about recognizing and creating opportunities for people. And the third ethic is fair share, which is the most relevant in our world today. It's about recognizing that what we do now impacts future generations and ensuring that we are good stewards of the earth. So what is urban farming? It can be as simple as using an old plastic container to grow your herbs, or it could be building some raised beds, utilizing your vertical wall space to grow food, or it could be more complex like using hydroponics or aquaponics. So the 5 steps on how to be an urban permaculture farmer. Step 1, reduce, reuse, recycle. When we say reduce, reuse, recycle, we mean using things that you might otherwise throw away, such as an empty coconut milk can, or perhaps an egg crate can. And so these can actually be used to start seeds. And the way we do that is also by reusing our food as well. So if we were to cut a lime and save the seeds, we can leave the seeds to dry. Once they're dry, we can fill our medium with soil, whether it's a tin can or whether it's an egg crate. Once our seeds dry for about 1 day, we can then just pop them about 1/4 inch into the soil. Water them every day until they sprout, and slowly but surely, you can grow your own lime tree. If you're in a cold environment, make sure you start these seeds indoors, and then once they grow bigger, you can transplant it into a pot, but make sure that it's also indoors. Step 2 is valuing food waste. Let's say you had some bananas in the morning. You can put the peels in a container, pour some water in there until it covers the peels, and then you want to put the top on it because you're going to let this sit for 2 weeks and it's going to get a little stinky. Once it sits for 2 weeks, you can transfer it into a spray bottle and then use this as an easy potassium boost for your plants. Let's say you also had eggs for your breakfast. You can actually reuse the shells for a calcium boost in your garden. So you can put them in the blender to crush them finely, or it also works if you just crush them with your hands. In this urban food jungle, we have ginger, Cuban oregano, sweet potatoes, turmeric, a lot of plants. And I'm gonna use our ground up eggshells to give our soil some calcium boost. So what we're gonna do is dig about 6 inches under the soil, and we're gonna pop in the eggshells, and we're just gonna cover it with the soil. And the eggshells will degrade very nicely, and as they do, they are going to be bringing calcium back to the soil. Finish drinking your morning coffee? Save the grounds. You can actually use these in the soil as well. So we'll follow a similar format with the eggshells. We'll dig about 6 inches into the soil, and then we'll put some of the coffee grounds and mix it. As the coffee degrades, it will give nitrogen back to the soil. Step 3, propagation. There are so many herbs and veggies that you can grow from an existing plant. For example, let's say you bought some spring onion at the market. What you can do is actually cut the spring onion, and if it has roots, you can just plant these roots actually directly in water, or we can use our coconut container again to plant it in here. And from this, you will have everlasting spring onions. They'll continue to grow, and the more you cut them, the more they'll grow. Another herb that's really easy to grow from an existing one is ginger. So ginger has these things called nodes, and as you can see, it's actually already starting to sprout. So what we do if we want to plant ginger is we just break the ginger off at the point of the nodes, and then all we do is just put this directly in soil. So when we plant ginger, we just dig into the soil about 1 inch, and we want to plant with the node facing up, and we very lightly cover the ginger with soil. It doesn't have to be too deep. And eventually, this is a mature ginger plant. It will form sprouts and grow. And fun fact, you can actually use the green part of ginger leaves in tea or in salads. Another super easy plant to grow from an existing one is onions. So once you're done using an onion, just make sure that the end where the roots are is maintained. And you want to leave about an inch of space from the root to the top. And you can remove the peel. And then what we're gonna do is just plant this in soil and cover it very lightly with soil on the top. And in about a few days, depending on your climate, you can actually start to get green sprouts, which you can also use in your kitchen. When we plant an onion, we're gonna dig about an inch into the soil, and roots facing down, we're gonna put it in the soil and lightly cover the top with soil. Garlic is also super easy to grow from an existing garlic. So the important thing when you grow garlic is to make sure the bottom part stays intact when you remove the clove. This one did. So when we plant garlic, we're gonna put it about an inch or two under the soil with this part, the root part, facing down. And it will start to grow garlic scapes from the top. Step 4, recognizing the power of water. So there are so many herbs that we can actually grow in water to create new ones. For example, this is some spinach that I cut a few weeks ago, and now, as you can see, it's rooting in water. So what we can do is once the roots establish, we actually plant it in the soil and it's a new spinach plant. Another option is, for example, basil. If you have a basil plant, you can cut it right above the bud. A bud is where you see a small new branch growing. So you cut it, and then this, we can just remove the bottom layers of leaves like this. So then we can put this basil in a glass, and in about a week, you should start seeing root growth. So this one is about 2 weeks old, and as you can see, the roots are already establishing. Once the roots are substantial, you can put it in soil and get a new basil plant. The time it takes for roots to develop from cuttings and water can vary, but ideally you would put your glass or plastic container next to a sunny area or a sunny windowsill, and the roots should be, when they're substantial, should look like this. So they should be probably 3 to 4 inches long. Do you know how pineapple grows? It actually grows from the top of the pineapple. So when we want to grow a new pineapple from an existing one, what we can do is actually cut the top, and then we have to remove a few layers here because the roots will actually come, show you in a second, from this part here. So we want to make sure that it's clear for the roots to develop. Then we just stick this baby in water, and in a few weeks, it will start to develop roots. And in about a year, your pineapple will grow this big. So pineapple takes about 2 years to really start producing, and then after that, it starts to decline in its production. So in hopefully about 2 years, you should start having some pineapples. Step 5, create your own natural pest control. So for this pest control recipe, we will be using neem oil and citronella oil, as well as a little bit of dish soap. Just keep in mind that using the best quality essential oils always make a difference when it comes to the efficacy of the pest control. So what we're gonna do is actually use about half a teaspoon of each per every liter of water. So we can put, this is the neem oil, in our spray bottle. We can also put our citronella oil in our spray bottle. Then we can fill it up with some water. And then add a few pumps, maybe 2 or 3, of dish soap, black soap, just not cleaning detergent. Maybe 2 or 3 is fine. Put the top of your sprayer on. Give it a good shake. And then this can be used to spray at the roots of your plants or on the leaves as well. You can't really overdo this because it's 100% natural. The only thing is you should try and use it within 8 hours before it loses most of its power. And fun fact, you can also use this as a natural insect repellent. So now you have 5 very simple steps on how to become an urban permaculture farmer. And these are tools that you can use in any space, whether it's indoors, on your balcony, whether you have a big space outside, it's very flexible in where you can use them. And why would you want to become an urban farmer? Well, 1, you can save money. Instead of buying herbs or veggies, you can grow your own. Second, climate change is real, and by reducing our carbon footprint, we can make a positive impact on the world. Oftentimes, purchasing food comes with a large carbon footprint, especially if it's imported. This is a great solution to be more sustainable. And the last reason is that it's fun. It is so rewarding and gratifying to be able to harvest your very own produce to use in your dishes, and I guarantee you it will taste better.